Facts about blood in dog's stool you must know. Seeing your dog's bloody stool can be a worrisome and disturbing experience. Blood in dog's stool is not a thing you should ignore, as it could be a sign of something very serious and could also be something very light. But as a responsible pet owner, it is always wise to have the possible reasons investigated by a veterinarian to avoid any future problems. Blood in a dog's stool is medically associated with two conditions known as hematochezia, where the animal passes bright red color blood. Hematochezia in dogs is indicative of bleeding in the lower digestive tract. Melena, another condition for canine bloody stool, is where black tarry stool are passed, which is indicative of bleeding in the upper digestive tract. Both the conditions may be indicative of something very serious to something very minor. So for your buddy's lifelong health and happiness, it is important to consult your veterinarian for the underlying cause and treatment. Causes of blood in dog's stool. If your dog is pooping blood for whatsoever reason, it is important to consult your vet for the underlying causes and most essentially for treatment. There are many causes of blood in dog stool. We are sharing some most common causes of your dog pooping blood. 1. Parasites. Parasites are one of the most common causes of blood in dog poop. The most common parasites that cause blood in the stool are hookworms, whipworms, and roundworms. If parasites are the culprit behind your dog's pooping blood, seek medical help to deworm your dog to combat this problem. 2. Use of NSAIDS. If your dog is on any type of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug like Rimadyl or aspirin, your dog may develop ulcers from its use. Bleeding ulcers in dogs usually result in black tarry blood in stools, which means the digested blood is coming from the stomach. Always bring it to your vet's attention if your dog is on such medications, and keep a vigilant eye on your dog's stools during use of any such medications. 3. Pepto-Bismol. If you have recently given Pepto-Bismol to your dog, the medicine may for the time being turn stools black. This is one of the potential side effects and actually written on the bottle if you read it. When you discontinue giving it, the stools would soon turn back to normal. 4. Parvovirus. Parvo is a potentially life-threatening condition most commonly observed in puppies. If your puppy is pooping blood with other symptoms like stinky diarrhea, vomiting, fever, loss of appetite, and lethargy, get him to vet immediately. 5. Inflammatory disorders. If you found streaks of bright red blood with or without mucus on your dog's stool, it may indicate inflammation of the large intestine. 6. Hemorrhagic gastroenteritis. Hemorrhagic gastroenteritis implicates profuse blood in dogs' stools along with vomiting, lethargy, and diarrhea, often described as strawberry jam-like. Smaller breeds of dogs are more susceptible to hemorrhagic gastroenteritis. HGE can be a life-threatening disease if left untreated. If you see these symptoms in your dog, it is extremely important to seek veterinary care immediately. 7. Irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, also referred to as colitis, is actually inflammation of the colon and may be the reason for dog bloody stools. Symptoms of colitis may include diarrhea with mucus and blood, and especially with the inability to hold or sense of urgency. Straining during poop are the most obvious signs of colitis in dogs. Causes of colitis may include stress, parasites, and dietary hypersensitivity. Medical consultation is required to combat colitis in dogs. 8. Foreign body obstruction. Dogs are like scavengers and tend to eat anything they found. Sometimes in the hunt to eat, they swallow objects that cannot be digested and have a chance to cause a blockage in the stomach or intestinal tract, which results in straining and irritation and can lead to bloody stools as well as mucus. 9. Stress. Stress may also be the cause of blood in your dog's stool. Change in the environment, like moving to a new place or boarding to a kennel, a new addition to the family, like a new pet or member to the household, could be some of the stressful events for a dog and may cause bloody stools. Some other causes of blood in dog stool may also include fissures, traumas, bacterial infections, tumors, cancers, blood clotting disorders, and ingestion of blood. What to do if your dog has blood in its stool? The presence of blood and mucus in a dog's stool is possibly due to many factors. If your dog is pooping blood with the symptoms such as pale gums, lethargy, vomiting, or diarrhea, see your veterinarian, as it could be signs of some serious illness. Also, take along a fecal sample so it would be easier for your vet to rule out the underlying causes of the problem.